Alright everybody, welcome back. In today's video I wanted to take an opportunity to expand upon the short that I posted this past week on preparedness. So as I mentioned in that video, September is National Preparedness Month here in the United States, and I was given a golden opportunity to show you guys and explain to you guys today why preparedness is so important. We had a storm roll through town and it temporarily, for a couple hours, knocked out the power to our travel trailer. I wanted to kind of walk you guys through what works and what doesn't work when the power is out, and show you guys why it's so important to just stay prepared on a daily level, because even the most simple things like natural disasters can throw people off dramatically. So I'll take you guys inside and show you what I mean. Okay, first and foremost, you can see, I apologize for my damp shirt, but as you can see, there is no lighting. All of the LED lights still work, but the lights that are on plugs, so all of the outlets, do not work when the RV is not plugged into shore power, so when there's not a constant influx of electricity. So let me show you what I mean by the LED lights. So for example, you can see that the living room lights are not on, but then I can activate them. And all of those LED lights work because the battery runs those things. Another thing that's still going to work is my stove. So this is run off of propane, and I always have extra propane on hand so I can make sure that my family can cook food, boil water, and eat meals ordinarily like we would when the power is on. Another thing that still works is the fridge and freezer. So the fridge and freezer are run off of 12 volt, which is run by the batteries that are mounted to the front of the travel trailer, and then the batteries are trickle charged by the solar that is on the roof. And then just to touch on water, so our hot water heater is dual fueled, so it's either run off of electricity or propane, so I can still have hot water, again, as long as I have propane. And then the water still works as well because the water pump works. And if I take you guys over here, this is kind of where the central hub is for all of the little nuances regarding the trailer. So you can see the freshwater tank is full, and I always refill it about every 3 days just to keep it topped off. That's going to be 45 gallons of fresh water. Don't use the black tank, so that's not going to have anything. The gray tank is also empty. There's probably just some condensation on the sensors, why it's showing 2/3 full. And then you can see the battery. Right now its condition is charged, and I do every 6 months I inspect the batteries and top off the fluids with distilled water. And then you have more of your controls down here for lighting. The water pump, when there is no shore power or no electricity run to the trailer, this powers off of the batteries, so to still allow us to do dishes and take showers and use the sinks. And then you have the water heater. As I mentioned, it is dual fueled, so you can fuel it off of your propane or electricity. And then you have all the slides and the awnings, which right now those don't get touched. Moving down here, this is the solar, so you can see if there's any input. So there's 15 volts of input currently, and that's trickle charging the battery to keep it topped off. You can also see how much is being drawn by the battery, so that's probably to power the fridge, since that's the only thing that's on right now. The one major downside is the ACs do not work when there is no shore power. So unless you have a generator, which our RV does not come with a generator, so you'd have to have an outside source, and the solar on the roof is not enough to power the ACs. Pretty much the only downside that I see in my eyes, the outlets being out is no big deal. I have a backup Jackery that I use, and I'll actually show you guys that real quick. Here is that Jackery unit. It is the Jackery Explorer 1000. Now there's some pretty popular brands out there. I got this 5 or 6 years ago when Jackery was still relatively new. As you can see, I do keep it charged and topped off. Well, I mean, it's minus 2%, but it does come with a light on the side, and then it has all of the plugs. So if I did need outlet plugs to charge phones or whatnot, this will last me hopefully until the power comes back on. Well, I'm not going to make this video too long. I just wanted to show you guys how we can still live and fully function on our day-to-day level, even when the power does go out. So as long as you have those 5 pillars that I talked about, which I still have all 5 of them, you can still go through your daily lives and live normally as you would. You just have to make sure that you implement a little of those backup reserves and then the knowledge and whereabouts to make sure that everything is maintained and topped off so that there's no disruption to your life. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.